Fuck all you hoes! Detroit till I die, motherfucker! Talking all that bullshit.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
I'm a moonshine sipper, straight slipping in the darkness. Far from heartless, I'm more like the sharpest tool in the shed. No, I've never been the smartest, but make no mistake, I hit the fucking hardest. Devil without a cause, you heard me screaming, and 20 years later, bitch, I still fucking mean it. Fucker, you ain't never met a motherfucker like this. Kiss my ass, then you can suck a dick sideways, my way or the highway. Listen up, ain't nothing changed here. I still don't give a fuck. So what the fuck's up with all the backlash? You snowflakes, here's a news flash.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
Years ago, we all thought it was a joke. See that every kid got a motherfucking trophy. But yo, homie, here's a situation. A nation of pussies is our next generation. And these minions and their agendas. Every opinion has a millennial offended. But this amendment one, it rings true. And if you don't dissent, bitch, then see number 2. Ain't nothing new, right church, wrong pew. Get a clue, accrue your fake news and views. Can all get the bottom of my motherfucking shoe. I'm the last of a few, still screaming fuck you.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live. Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live. Oh, I'm gonna soar like an eagle. My wings will carry me away. I got the heart of a lion, and I get stronger every day.
You never tell me shit, you'll never flip my script. Because I'm more outrageous than the Vegas Strip. You're like Mayberry, bitch, I'm hard and crisp. High risk, hillbilly, but I'm filthy rich. You're like really vanilly, kinda silly as shit. I'm like Shotgun Willie, smoking Phillies and shit. I'm like Reverend Ron or David Lee Roth. Like Springsteen, bitch, I'm the motherfucking boss. James Dean shit, I'm more like Brad Pitt. A little less pretty, but I slang more dick. I twang more riffs, I slide through grass. I rip more lines than a 10-pound bass. Pass the mic, I'm like slow gin fizz. It ain't nobody, it ain't nobody.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to
Well,
Yeah, good way to start out.
welcome
You can
to
see where we're going.
Unhinged with Cami and Jeff. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good. You almost forgot my name, but that's okay. I'm doing good. How are you?
No, I didn't forget your name. I just was a little taken back by that. I never saw that Kid Rock. I'm not a huge Kid Rock
Really?
person, so
Oh, it's
Yeah.
funny because I never liked Kid Rock, but it took 2020 for people to show their real true colors. And the people I used to love, I can't stand now. The people I used to not love, I love now. So
yeah.
go figure. But yeah,
Go
I like
figure.
I love that.
So how have you been since Sunday?
Dude. I'm not saying
Good.
Yeah, I'm all right. You?
How you been, John?
I'm gonna go with Jeff since I'm here.
It's kind of like crickets in here. We should have a cricket button. That's the next thing we need to add. We're
I did
Stevie's
put
sound.
that in my video. I did put that in one of my videos, and I do have the soundbite. So
Yeah, we need to have crickets because that one deserved that.
Just more stuff to add to the dust. Let's go.
Yeah. So I hope everybody's doing good. Thank you for joining us again tonight with Jeff. There you
can
go.
you hear it?
There,
Yes.
yes, I love it. Okay, let's rewind. So, Jeff, how you been since Sunday? Crickets.
I plead the fifth.
You plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. Boston J and Queen Stolt are in the house also. Hello, Boston
Let
J
me
and
see
Queen
who's
Stolt.
in.
Carrie and DG, of course.
Oh, and my Ruby is there. Hi, Ruby. Hi, Boston. Hi, Carrie. Hi, everybody else. DM guy, which I always think of Depeche Mode when I say that. Everybody knows I'm a Depeche Mode-aholic.
Didn't the
So-
singer pass away not too long ago?
No, one of the Andy Fletcher died a year ago. He was on keyboard. They
Oh,
have
okay. That's what it was.
four of the original band members. There's only two left, and it's the lead singer and who's David Gaughan, and then Martin Gore, who's the
Mhm.
he writes all the music and he's on guitar. So
Yeah.
I saw them
It's
exactly 30 years ago in Orlando.
Yeah, it's
in
amazing to
October.
see how long they've been together, even longer than that. And it's like
Listen, yeah.
they were definitely they had their definite dark side to them, which I like. I like that dark, creepy stuff. Like Breaking Benjamin, I think doesn't get enough credit for how good Breaking Benjamin was. Like the Diary of Jane, if you really look, it's like that. And the first time I ever heard Deftones, believe it or not, was back in '98. Me and my ex, we were going down to Delaware. And a good stretch of Delaware. John, you were from Maryland, so if you ever been on 13 and 113 through like Slaughter Beach, number one, great name. 12:30 at night, we're listening to Around the Fur, which is a very dark and creepy Deftones CD. Listening to that on a desolate, dark road at 12:30 at night.
No, thank you.
It's definitely creepy.
And then,
Well, I was talking to my daughter today when I was picking her up from school. She's a sophomore, and I'm going to go, and that's why I'm kind of bringing that up. But all my kids know I'm a Depeche Mode fanatic, and I said, number one, I saw them exactly 30 years ago in October, and I'm seeing them next month here in Atlanta. We've already bought really good tickets to see them. So it's 30 years to the day that I've saw them. And I said they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And what band do you know that they started out in 1980, and literally their manager at the time told them that they would be a one-hit wonder and they wouldn't go past 1985. Here we are, 2023.
Yeah.
And they're still just as popular as they were 30, 40 years ago.
Well,
Not too many people can hold that title.
I'm not a Led Zeppelin fan, but that's basically how they got their name. What I forget which member was, but like their father said, "Oh, your band's going to go down like a Led Zeppelin," and so they named it Led Zeppelin. Well,
Yeah.
they're one of the biggest bands ever. I'm not a
Yep.
Led Zeppelin fan.
Yeah, Depeche Mode is just always really, their music is very soulful, and Martin Gore, who writes it, most of the music,
Mhm.
he's just extremely deep when he writes his stuff.
Yeah.
So
Policy of Truth
I
is
could
just-
talk about Depeche Mode for 2 hours, but I know people that
Yeah,
tune
we're
in
not
to hear
going
us
to.
talk about Depeche Mode.
But yeah, we're not going to. Sorry.
Yeah, so we're not going to. So, we're still on that whole pedophilia thing, and I found a video which some of you probably have already seen, and it really kind of shocked and stunned me what came out of Oprah's own mouth. So if we get striked on YouTube for this, check your own self, because this is from Oprah's own mouth.
Then that
So,
just means
Dawn, if you want-
that just means that YouTube's complicit in all this crap, which they are.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yep.
Steven,
So
Steven's in the chat. Hello, Steven.
Well, hi, Steven. Who's Steven? Just kidding.
Some guy.
Hi, Steve.
He's not a Steven.
Coming and seeing us. Oh, he's not the Steven.
Yeah, let's play that
Um,
shitbag over split.
So I want to warn people, if you have young children sitting around or elderly people that don't like foul language, there's some, when Oprah's talking, I was like, whoa. So what she says is it's not
if
kind of
there's old
disturbing,
people,
it is disturbing.
if there's old people watching this that don't like foul language, we scared them away with the first song.
With that video, you almost scared me away, Jeff. I was like, whoa.
Like I said, I was never a Kid Rock fan, but to see how based he is, and I love that song. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so if you want to put that Oprah, it's only a 2-minute video, and then we can go into what we're going to talk about.
Give me 1 second. I don't know what I did with it. It was there, and then I don't know. I think I closed the window. Hold on.
And Boston says no kids are elderly here. That's awesome, Boston.
I found it.
Okay.
Respect or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Right. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happening.
Oprah legitimized the notorious sex criminal Joe Teixeira, a.k.a. John of God, as a miraculous faith healer, one who could cure cancer, giving him international recognition. Joe Teixeira is now serving 19 years in prison for the rape of 4 women. He is facing additional cases related to several sex crimes, including keeping teenage women as sex slaves in underground mines, forcing them to have his children, and selling their babies internationally for tens of thousands of dollars before murdering the women after about 10 years of childbirth. Oprah runs her own leadership academy for girls in Africa, a $40 million school for disadvantaged girls, where in 2007, several children were sexually abused and parents were only allowed to see their children once a month. Oprah was very close with disgraced Hollywood mogul, rapist, and abuser Harvey Weinstein. Her Me Too documentary ignored Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. Oprah was herself a teenage prostitute. She stokes the fires of racism in America. And she is a member of the Billionaire Club, or the Good Club, along with Bill Gates, George Soros, Warren Buffett, David Rockefeller, and Ted Turner. The so-called Good Club meets behind closed doors and discusses plans for global depopulation. The Great Awakening is upon us. When will humanity begin seeing these billionaire celebrities for who they really are?
Oh, was that Bon Jovi at the bottom of that picture? Yeah, I think it was, because I've seen him in the boot too. Yeah.
So before we were talking and getting on the podcast, Jeff, you had a nice picture you wanted to show that you found of
Yes, I do.
that goes into that video, so people can see that this is really what's going on.
Yeah, there you go. Pimp of the Year. Honey child, that's what you be wanting. Yeah. Yeah, it ties into that Harvey Weinstein. Look at that. And she's wearing the same clothes that she was with that one little blonde girl who had the look on her face like, yeah, am I being sold to this guy? Yeah, probably you are. That's like the one picture that I have. It's like Meryl Streep, Oprah, Whoopi, and it's one or two other people that says, yeah, when you're anti-Trump, but you're pro-rapist.
Can you show that picture real quick of her with the ankle bracelet on?
Did I save it?
Because that's the one that's really good, so people can really see, and which I liked in that video. Welcome to the Great Awakening, And
Yep.
that video highly disturbed me because I've got twin 9-year-old boys. And she's sitting there saying that it feels good and it's normal for them to get their penis stroked at the age of 7 by a stranger or somebody.
Yeah,
That is
I
highly disturbing.
I did see that video before, Cami. I did see it. The minute it started playing, I was like, "Yep, I've seen this before." Yeah, and it's disgusting what she says.
Yeah, I mean, I'm blown away. And you know what? Which makes me even more angry is that video needs to be played and played and replayed all over social media, all over Twitter, all over Truth Social, all over Facebook to show who these people really are. Because there's so many people like, oh, we're so good. She donates all this money and does all this good stuff. And then you see a video like this, that is complete demonic coming out of her mouth. No
I'm
7-year-old
trying
boy.
to
And then
share the
which is even worse is you know how she said, but if it's done by someone good
yeah.
and the abuser's good, then it doesn't matter. Like she justifies if the abuser's good. That's some
Yeah.
sick shit, and I will say that right there because that's some
Yeah.
that's the me. I
There we
mean,
go.
come on, there. Yes,
Yeah, there's her ankle monitor. That was
there's
during
her
the
ankle monitor.
during the Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, whatever the fuck her name is, interview. Yep, that's her.
Yep.
I have another one too. I just can't find it. It's somewhere in my pictures. But later on, I'll try to find it because we got
Yeah.
to move on with the show. You had something else too?
Yeah, I have something else, and this video is a 5-minute video. So, John, if you can stop it at 5 minutes before you show this video, I wanted to show a real quick picture. John, can you show the picture of? I have a sophomore that's in high school. I take her to school and I pick her up because she'll be getting her license in November. So the football players all have their picture. I scratched out his name because I don't want to, I'm not going to expose the young kid's name. See what he's doing, Jeff?
Oh,
Illuminati
yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
What 17, 18-year-old is going to do the Illuminati sign? I scratched off his number. His number's 9. What's a backwards 9?
Yeah. Exactly.
6.
Yep.
And all along this fence. Hold on. My internet's acting crazy right now. Figures. Can you still hear me, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I pick her up and drop her off in front of the school, they have all the football players' pictures sitting there, all the cheerleaders' pictures sitting there. His immediately caught me the first day it sat there, and I said, wow. 18-year-old kid doing the Illuminati sign, picks the number 9 for his uniform. And
Yeah,
which is an upside
I guess
down
6 was taken by
So
somebody else.
if you don't think people, I looked at all the players because they have them all in line. There was no 6. No one picked a 6. So he picked a 9 to be cute. So if you don't think that what Hollywood and these elites are doing subliminally to these children, you're fooling yourselves. And these parents, shame on those parents that let that kid go up there for his football picture and do this. And that's nothing cute. That's nothing cute to dabble in at that age. And for him already to be in at that age, that just goes to show you they're after children. They are after our children, and people need to wake up and they need to stop this. Like in our culture, they need to stop it in our communities. It's just awful. That's awful that I saw that and I was, wow. And I guarantee you, and maybe his parents are in on it. Maybe his parents trained him to do that.
Yeah,
Who knows?
you never know because it's like nowadays, I mean, for years, it's like it seems like parents are the ones like kind of forcing the kids to do sports and all that. It's like when growing up, Little League and all that, it was always voluntary. We couldn't wait for Little League season to come around, basketball season, all that stuff. And it just seems like over the years, as the generations went on, it just seems like it. I mean, how many videos do you see of parents fighting a kid's baseball game? It's like, come on.
Yeah.
They all they care about is just getting a trophy at the end. We were happy. I'll never forget our team when I was in like 6th grade. Our team came in dead last. We got a trophy of a horse's ass for coming in last place. We thought it was the greatest thing ever because we got something. You know, not that everybody gets a trophy generation, not that everybody gets a trophy generation, but it's like we got a trophy for being in last place because we still gave our all, even though, you know, but
Yeah.
just like
So I wanted to show that because it goes into the next video, and this is the video's 5 minutes, John. If you want to do that, and then Jeff, take it away after this because I know you have a lot to go off of this. So this is the New World Order. I'm big into the New World Order Illuminati, and I'll let you watch the video and we'll talk about it.
Founded in part by the Rockefellers, the United Nations has been acting as a de facto world government since 1945. Starting in the 1950s, the UN began funding scientists to measure for carbon dioxide. And in 1992, they drafted what they describe as the International Legal Instrument for the Conservation of Biological Diversity, and outlined their plans to seize control of land under the guise of climate conservation, known as Agenda 21, because they wanted to accomplish their goals by the 21st century. But by 2015, they were failing and officially pushed their deadline back with Agenda 2030. In 2010, the Rockefeller Foundation published Scenario for the Future of Technology and International Development, wherein they outlined 4 different ways of achieving their goals, which they wrote, once crossed, these axes create a matrix of 4 very different futures. In 2020, they crossed the axis into the lockstep matrix. In 2022, at their 15th Convention on Biological Diversity, COP15, the UN increased the amount of land they plan to steal to 30% by 2030. Their 30 by 30 plan will require the displacement of millions. So far, the direct confiscation approach is working in Europe. The Dutch farmers have been peacefully protesting, but they are being shot at by the police, and so the government isn't stopping, which is why the direct approach won't work in America. Less than a year after Agenda 21 was drafted, the U.S. federal government attempted stripping away constitutional land rights from the Bundy family in Nevada. It was fought in the courts for decades and resulted in a peaceful protest with armed protesters. To avoid a gunfight, the feds backed off and adapted their plans. In 2008, the Rockefeller Foundation published America 2050, a strategy to reclaim natural resources and reform the federal role in land use policy. The America 2050 documents outline which areas of the country will be depopulated and which areas will be politically absorbed into 10 new megaregions. The Rockefellers envision most of the depopulation to occur in the central corridor of the United States. These are the same states that experienced the most COVID vaccine deaths, a massive area that is not included in the America 2050 infrastructure map, and excluded from the new high-speed rail system planned. A big part of Rockefeller's America 2050 is the High-Speed Rail in America plan, which requires the use of existing railways for its implementation. Some are suggesting that this is why we are seeing so many train derailments. There have been over a dozen derailments and chemical spills on railways in just the past few months, some of which, like the one in East Palestine, are highly suspicious. And these chemical spills could be used as an excuse by the state to evacuate you from your homes and steal your land. The Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation, and Liability Act, commonly known as Superfund, was enacted by Congress in 1980. The Superfund provides the EPA with the authority to seize control of private lands for long-term remedial response actions during the event of a toxic disaster. If what we are being told about the chemicals that were burned and released into East Palestine is true, then the EPA could plausibly shut down a massive area, and Cleveland can house the dislocated Ohioans in their 15-minute cities, while the government cleans up the mess and accepts the land as payment. Whether it's called Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, or America 2050, the United Nations and their friends are never going to quit. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
So that
I
video, have you seen that?
No, I have not, but it's funny because I just came across this picture not too long ago. Hold on. Sometimes the Lord makes the means. Uninvolved in peace.
Uninvolved in peace. Oh my gosh. That's an awesome meme. I like that meme.
Well,
So
the UN soldiers are the biggest human traffickers in the world.
yeah, that's what they
I
said.
saw a video on it. If I knew you were going to bring it up, I would have found it. But yeah, it wasn't a very long video. Maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes.
You can look
Maybe
for
I'll try
it.
to find it again.
Yeah. So my husband and I, we bought our house 24 years ago. We built it here in outside of Atlanta. And our back of our property is the Corps of Engineers own it. And so no one can build in back of us because Lake Altoona, which is one of the largest lakes here in this area, besides Lake Lanier, we live off of that. And so they come every 10 years to look at our properties that all of us that back up to the Corps of Engineer that owned it, because it's all just wooded area that goes to the lake. Yeah. And if you have anything within 10 feet of their land, like our neighbors had a trampoline, they make you move it. Mm-hmm. So the crazy thing is just like this video says, you don't really own your house because the Corps of Engineers can come and tell us we need your house right now because we need more land for back here.
Well, look what happened under George W. Bush with that eminent domain. Same thing.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying in like Ohio, Palestine, Ohio. All those people that lived by the train derailment and have all that thing, that was their excuse. Oh, we need to come in now and take your property. And the weird thing that's been happening back of our property is weekly the water and sewage company comes out digging in back of our property, and they keep asking us for permission. And it's just something's going on in back there. So it's something's huge getting ready to go down soon. But it's quite interesting how people think they own their house, they don't.
G just entered the chat. 2F17 just entered the chat. Hello, 2F17. She bought a shirt, by the way. We can't wait to see her. Can't wait to find out how good her shirt is when she gets it. But
yeah,
2F17, real quick, 2F17. I saw your message on Truth. I didn't get a chance to read it because we were just going live. So just give me a chance. I'll get back to you. But getting back to, did you have anything else, Cami, before I get into?
No, that was it. That's why I said, take it, Jeff. That was it.
Well, yeah, but like my sister, she lives in Lakewood, New Jersey. Well, Jackson, New Jersey, but it's right down the street from Lakewood, New Jersey, which it's a big Hasidic Jewish area. Now, a lot of the Hasidic Jews would go around and knock on every door saying, hey, we want to buy your house, because they wanted to take over all the land around there. Finally, all the neighbors started complaining to the township saying, hey, we're not selling our house. We're tired of these Jewish people coming up to our house saying we want to buy our house. And I'm not bashing Jewish. I'm just saying it just seemed a little weird that it was not too long ago and all this stuff was going on. But this kind of, the video I have ties in a little with the children. Now, mind you, every organization has its bad people, and not every organization is bad. But we know about the Masons. Obviously, when you get to a certain level, then you know some shit that 10-degree level Masons don't know. Obviously. Yeah. But
that's kind of the same with the Church of Scientology. That's why you have to pay to get up and up and up. And I think the highest person in there is John Travolta and Tom Cruise.
Well, a lot of people got out of it. I was researching because I was going to do a video about like people leaving Hollywood, and like I didn't know like Elvis's Priscilla Presley and
She was in
Lisa
it.
Marie
Yeah.
Presley, they were involved in that too.
She
I
was
didn't
huge
know
in
that.
it. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
was
never
huge
knew
in it.
that.
The
There was a
top two
lot of.
people in Hollywood who is the Travoltas and Tom Cruise, and that's why Katie Holmes
Oh
got
yeah,
out of
they're.
it. So
But Leah
yeah,
Remini from King of Queens, she was involved. And she got out of
yeah.
it, and she was like, not really bashing it, but she was, saying, no.
But it's just they go off the same thing as the Freemasons. There's levels, and
Yes.
but the Church of Scientology, you had to pay them to get up to the different
I'm
levels.
gonna get. You know what? I told you that I have a Tom Cruise story, and it kind of it's real quick though. Let me play this video.
I want to hear the Tom Cruise story because we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mentioned it in one of my videos before, but yeah, this is former Mason explains. Masons teach immortality is obtained through sexual ritual abuse of children. It's about 2 minutes. Oh, hold on 1 second. Pause, fucker. Sorry.
Is that as a Mason, you are promised immortality. If you go to a Masonic funeral, you will hear them discuss the immortality issue. You will hear them promise that they will go to the celestial lodge above.
It's a little low. I hope you can hear it.
And live there forever. How do they get this immortality? They don't believe in Jesus. The name of Jesus is not allowed to be mentioned in the Blue Lodge of Freemasonry. And while there are probably many Masons in this nation that are either nominal or even professing Christians, that doesn't enter into this discussion because it's not mentioned in the funeral. Where do they get their promise of immortality? Simply, the secret that Crowley uncovered, probably through demonic intervention, is the secret that this immortality is conveyed through tantric sex magic. And the kind of sex magic that we're talking about here, unfortunately, is the sexual violation of a little child. Crowley taught that the way you could live forever was by vampirizing little children sexually. And he personally bragged of having slaughtered 150 male children in 1 year. This is why he was called the wickedest man in the world. And this, I apologize that this is so horrible, but Masons are doing this. Not all Masons, please understand me. Probably 1 in 100 knows about this. But this is a significant enough problem that I feel compelled to share it with you. In our ministry, with one accord, we have had to pray for literally hundreds of people who are the relatives of Masons, either children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces, whatever, and they have been sexually violated by their Masonic relatives, often in Masonic temples. This is why the Masons believe that they will live forever. They think every time they defile a little child, they steal some of that child's youth. And if you notice, children who are sexually abused do age more rapidly because their innocence has been stolen.
That is completely so sad. Extremely sad. Jeff.
Yeah, so there's
So
that.
John, Jeff, your camera's off.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You don't need it. So here's a little Tom Cruise story. Like I said, I told this before on one of my videos, but yeah, gee, don't tell Jovo. So my aunt, she lived in an apartment complex. You know, garden apartment. You have your neighbor to your left, you have your neighbor below you, and the neighbor catty corner, you know, the floor.
Yeah.
So her neighbor was deaf. When she would leave at night, she would always see this couple coming in to go visit him. And she always wondered, because it's dark, you know, so you can't really see who it is. She always wondered who it was. And she thought it was not weird, but he's deaf, but he's always having these people over. So finally she went up to him one day. She goes, you know, because they used to write notes to each other. That's how they communicated. And she knew a little sign language, not a lot. So she goes, who is this couple that always comes to see you? So he walks her over to some pictures on the wall. It's Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. So I'm going back a little bit. Yeah, he was best friends with Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise is from New Jersey.
Wow.
So So she noticed that they weren't coming around anymore, and out of nowhere, her neighbor went crazy. He went crazy, smashed up his entire apartment. I don't know if he killed himself or whatever. I can't remember. This was back in like 95 or 96. Here's the fucked up part. My aunt used to always record the country western station when she went out at night. She came home one night after recording. She noticed that her entire radio system was shut down. She takes the tape out and doesn't think nothing of it. A month later, she played this tape. Now, I have heard this tape 3 times. It is the most demonic shit I've ever heard in my life. It starts out with this weird music that it sounds like instruments not even of this world, almost like a sitar, but it's all of a sudden you hear this heavy breathing, real heavy breathing. Next thing you know, it says her name. It says Carol, real deep. She plays the other side. It's on the other side of this tape. Now, when you record on a tape, it only records on one side. It recorded on both sides. Now, mind you, I heard this tape. It gave me nightmares for a little while. About a month or so later, she did it again. Same thing, totally different. Now, supposedly rumor was this guy was her neighbor, who was best friends with Tom Cruise, was into worshiping Satan. That's what that's what was on this tape, y'all. Like I said, I've heard it. It's the most. She did it again. Now, this tape wasn't as bad, but it's just you could hear people talking. They have this weird accent. You could hear they're being tortured. Now, mind you, she's taping a country western station the whole time. These people are being tortured. Again, this tape is front and back too. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes this woman's voice. It almost sounds like it almost feels like you're at an airport and this woman is talking. You could hear every word, but she's making absolutely no sense. Now, this could be just a coincidence, but it's just odd that Tom Cruise was into all the Scientology stuff. He's best friends with my aunt's neighbor, who happened to be dead and was a Satan worshiper. And right after he went crazy, that's when my aunt does this. And let me tell you something. Now, I grew up in the 80s. My cousin Greg, big guy, always into horror movies. I don't know if y'all remember Fangoria magazine. This is like when Friday the 13th first came out. Nightmare on Elm Street. All these good horror movies back in the 80s. Fangoria magazine. My cousin heard this tape. It fucking scared the shit out of him. Now, he's a big guy, and he could take anything. It scared the shit out of him.
Well, you know what that reminds me of? Jim Jones. Have you heard his recording of his final moments?
No.
You can hear, look it up. It's pretty freaking scary. You can hear demonic entities and voices as he's killing his own self, and now it has everyone in the background. So you hear because he recorded, Jamestown, about 1,100 people and children died for Jamestown, and 1978 and 77, 78, and he recorded the whole thing. And as he's about to die, you hear demonic voices on the tape, and the FBI released that tape about 20 plus years ago. You can look it up on YouTube. And like you're saying, it's pretty scary. Like I had to shut it off halfway in between because
I said, this shit scared me. Because years later, I was my fiance at the time. She had a lot of psychic abilities. I had her listen to the tape. She said, "Shut it off. Shut up." She wouldn't listen. She heard the first maybe 2 minutes. She said, "I'm done." Don't. And I had to respect because. But Todd was like, Fangoria, blast from the past. I knew Todd would know Fangoria magazine. I knew it, Mr. Red Gold.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder. Like I said, it was the family. This was months ago. We were just out of nowhere talking about Hollywood. And I was like, what do they say in Hollywood? Roll out the red carpet. Roll out the red carpet. It just, again, it's like these things just, now that you're awake, if Stairway to Heaven played backwards, I tried playing Stairway to Heaven backwards. It actually sounded better. It did
exactly sound better.
Like I said, I am not a Led Zeppelin fan.
I'm just not a hard rock fan or a heavy metal fan. So, I mean, I love all music. I can listen to Spanish merengue. I can listen to lots of music, but soul music, but heavy metal to me, I just never got into it
Come
because
on, bring
that
up
kind of sounds demonic. So
I got a video. I got a video that'll tie into some of the stuff you're talking about.
let's see
Especially,
it.
Yeah, Tiamat was like stairway denied. I was listening to it too.
I had this dream that all those hills had been leveled, the houses torn down. I saw it in my dream. And exactly the way I saw it, that's the way it happened.
It's the tragedy of my life. Absolutely. I was responsible for uprooting, I don't know how many hundreds of people from their own little valley and having the whole thing destroyed.
It's sort of taken on a mythical sense in people's memories, and then with the feeling that it was unfairly taken from them. So it's no wonder that people have strong feelings about it.
He said, please, your son's in a baseball team. Let's go to the Dodgers as a family. I'll never go again. I hated it. I didn't enjoy it. It was like dancing on a grave.
1962. In Chavez Ravine, a few miles from downtown Los Angeles, baseball fans crowd the bleachers of the brand new Dodger Stadium to welcome their team from Brooklyn. The stadium sits on 170 acres of freshly cleared land that just 12 years earlier was home to over 300 families. The neighborhoods of La Loma, Palo Verde, and Bishop, the neighborhoods of Chavez Ravine.
Me, myself, I loved it there. I loved it because we used to run up and down the hills, and we knew every little trail around there in the neighborhood. I don't think anybody want to move out of your neighborhood when you've been living there so long and you know everybody like a big family.
Elysian Park was our playground. You know, the whole park was right next to it. We used to go down there and swim naked in the LA River. We used to make dams, you know, with rocks, you know, make holes and then swim in that dirty water.
We won a lot of trophies there in the Legion Park. Believe me, we did. Football, you name it, baseball, basketball. We were good. We would get to the playground, who play the opponents. They would come up with a brand new uniforms, and here we look like those goddamn East Side kids, you know, raggedy-ass kids playing baseball. That other team, you know, they said, how could these guys beat us?
There were great times for me, beautiful time. Yeah. The processions, the lighted candle. The men would dress like Roman soldiers. They had this big drum, boom, boom, boom. We would go through the hills.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
That was
Mama
cute.
Bear just said something about that. Mama Bear, weren't me and you talking about this not too long ago? Because I remember that, and I remember her saying she knew people that were displaced because of all that too. And gee,
Yeah.
didn't Dodger Stadium just get flooded not too long ago?
Yep.
Yeah, because what did they have? So that one band that like anti-Christian and all that. I really didn't pay attention. And what's up with this Burning Man festival thing that happened over the whatever?
I don't even know what Burning Man is. I just see the tweets, but I don't know.
Well,
Did they flood it or
supposedly
something on
the
purpose?
festival is the festival is basically based on a ritual where they have these people come in and like they put them all in like kind of like a Trojan horse, but it's supposedly a big wooden man, and they put them all in there and they stack them in there and they burn them alive. Something like that. I didn't really research too much about it, but I heard about it today.
And who wants to go to these things? Man, people are getting dumber by the second.
Yeah, Todd said they lock the gates and they can't leave. Yeah, like in a Bronx Tale. No, you can't leave.
Wow.
Yeah, the modified. See, now here's here's what the left doesn't understand. Oh, look, they're bringing back masks. They're bringing back social distancing. I feel safe. Do you realize in satanic rituals, they wear masks and they stand 6 feet apart? It's no mistake when they bury people. How far down do they bury us?
6 feet.
6 feet. There's no
Thank you.
coincidence.
So I'm glad that you went into that, because this video, just to lighten things up, because we're getting a little heavy and deep here. So I just wanted to kind of break it up. And I'm sure you've seen this video, and because I've posted it. I just sent it to John. Do you have it ready, John?
I got it.
By
Bring it
far,
on,
I have to admit, this is the top video that I think I've ever seen.
No sound. John, no sound.
Good morning, everyone. As you know, there have been some recent reports suggesting that our vaccine is not safe. This, of course, is ridiculous. If you look at the science, you will see that there are no side effects. In fact, I myself have been boosted 4 times.
Boosted 4 times. This notion that vaccines can have any kind of side effect is a right-wing conspiracy bolstered by MAGA Republicans, hate groups, and probably Russia. Look, would we vaccinate 7 billion people if there were side effects?
Side effects? Of course not. It's dangerous and, quite frankly, irresponsible to blame the recent uptick of people suddenly
collapsing on our product. Healthy people have always suddenly
fallen to the ground from heart problems. This is totally
Normal. Nothing is.
wrong. Nothing is wrong. Sorry, we ran out of the spokespeople.
Why are you not collapsing? Did you get the vaccine?
No. Don't be silly. I don't want to collapse. I'm not a fool. I want to live. I want to live.
That guy's the best.
Reminds me of Carl, the janitor from Breakfast Club. I am the eyes and ears of this institution, my friends.
Don't be silly. We got to do it. Ready, Jeff? I want to live. I want to live.
Yeah.
What's the best part of
I want to live too.
I want to live. See, I'm a comedy person, people, so I have to put comedy in, because once you start getting that downing, I'm like, no, time to bring it back up. So, just a little breakup.
Yeah. So real quick, getting back to celebrities and Satan. Y'all remember this? Hold on.
Getting back to the real downer stuff, celebrities and Satan.
So
well,
he's
it's got to be addressed.
Well, he's pulling that up. I just saw a video on TikTok about a girl talking about how she started reading the Bible, how the devil was at the top, and he created music, and it was mesmerizing, and it was stuff like that, and that how he is intertwined in the music industry now.
Well, absolutely.
Well, yeah, because you didn't know that Lucifer was the head of music in heaven, and he God chose him to be the head of music in heaven. That's why he infiltrates our music industry, because he was the minister of music in heaven. So absolutely, it says it in the Bible.
Well, was it at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, or was it just at a halftime show where I forget who was playing the halftime show, but everything was red, number one, and all of a sudden the word Satan pops up on the big jumbotron. I don't remember that. I think that was at the Super Bowl.
That was the guy I was trying to tell you that I can't keep thinking of his name. It always flips my mind, but he's a newer singer on the thing, and his music's actually very good, but he's satanic, and that's the problem about Satan, is he knows your ears and get you to listen to his music. So what is his name?
I can't remember the name. I know you're talking about, but I have a I have a meme of that, and it's Morpheus from the Matrix saying it's like the red pill and the blue pill. If you take this one, you make shitty music. If you take this one, you worship the devil. Wait, did you just take both?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
and
real
that's
quick.
John, you're exactly right that the Bible says it, that and Satan was God's favorite angel, and that's why he made him the minister of music, and then
Sam
he
Smith.
wanted to
Everybody's
have
saying
his
Sam
power up there, and God kicked him out with 33% of the angels that are demons now that wanted to go follow Satan.
So real quick, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. I never really cared for this guy anyway, but
Hey, it's Tony Gonzalez with the latest rock news. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. Once sang the Rolling Stones about the devil, but on Sunday night, the big man downstairs got his due from Christian Bale at the Golden Globes. Bale received the honor for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Comedy or Musical for portraying former Vice President Dick Cheney in the film Vice. The actor offered the typical thanks to his wife and children and those who worked on the film, but then added, with his sense of humor, "Thank you, Satan, for giving me inspiration on how to play this role." The Church of Satan thanked Bale for the acknowledgement, stating that Satan is a symbol of pride, liberty, and individualism, and as Bale's talent and skill won him the honor, they can fittingly state, "Hail Christian, hail Satan." For more on this story, head over to loudwire.com.
There you have it, people, out of the horse's mouth. If you don't think that Hollywood and these elites and these rock stars don't worship Satan, you're fooling yourselves. They do. He just gave glory to his master, his daddy.
yep. Look at something else up too. So go ahead, Cami.
No, but I started making a list, and it's funny because we stopped watching movies and TV in our household several years ago, and now we're kind of getting bored, so we're back to watching movies. And I'm like, oh, nope, they're a devil worshiper. They're devil. So my husband's like, what movie can we watch? And I'm like, it's barely any at this point. But so in Christian Bale, I never thought about that about him. Douchebag.
Yeah, I remember seeing the actual real video from it. I thought that was the actual one.
Yeah. So that just, I mean, I remember seeing Katy Perry on the BBC station, and the lady asked her, they said, some people say that you sold your soul. And she says, I wrote it on a contract. I sold my soul. Yes. And she laughed about it. And which is so sad is Satan really, really goes after the people who are in church singers, growing up in the church. Whitney Houston was one. Katy Perry,
yeah.
Perry
She was a
one.
gospel singer. So
Justin Bieber, I think, even grew up singing in the church choir. But I know Whitney Houston, and he loves to grab Christians and turn them around for him. And that's the sad part. So that's why the Bible says he's like a roaring lion wanting to pounce on you. And it's not wanting to pounce on the non-Christian because he already has them. He wants to pounce on the Christians.
Yeah.
So we have to always have our eyes open.
So I'm trying to share it and it won't let me.
Sorry.
That's all right, John.
I was working on something. My bad.
No, it's all right. It's all good.
You're doing really well now, but didn't you release a CD like almost 10 years ago? Yeah, I mean, I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in, a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers, and so I kind of sang about, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music, but it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
It's fucking sick.
Yep. There you have it. And for people who don't know who Amy Grant is, Amy Grant's a beautiful soul. She sings beautiful Christian music. And she wanted to be the Amy Grant of music, but she turned her back. There you have it. Those type peoples, I say to everyone, they really weren't Christians, because I got saved at the age of 19. I'm 48, and I've never turned my back on Christ, and I would never, ever, ever do that. So that just goes to mean she was never truly saved to begin with. Because if you're truly saved and you know what's up, you will never follow the devil, ever. So,
look at some of her newer videos where she's like in hell and all that, and that one video where she's climbing the the pyramid of all things, you know.
Yeah, and then she has a video of the. It's not called the White Horse, but it's the.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about.
Coming
What
in
is
like
it
a
called?
dark horse or something like that.
And a dark horse in satanic language is like one of the highest things you can get up into. So you have
John,
to
can you Google that? What she just said about the dark horse?
Dark Horse.
Yeah, that's the name of the song. Is called Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Because that was when she was kind of still first starting out, right? I think I never really followed her.
She was a little bit more into it because I didn't like her because she was the one that came out and said she kissed a girl and liked it. Yeah. And I was like, why would a Christian girl be coming out saying something like that? Yeah. And that's what made her single was that song. And then after that, she just went more downhill. But
HD is in the house. HD Angie is in the house. But yeah, I just had the other video.
Yeah, she was at the Super Bowl and she did all that satanic stuff years ago. And it's on the tip of my tongue. You have to look that up. Look up the Super Bowl from 3 years ago. Who sang, John?
There you go.
Yep, there you go. Dark Horse. That whole video is so demonic. If you see the whole video, everything in there is demonic.
Yeah, I've never seen the video. I mean, I didn't know it was that video to that song, but I remember seeing the video, parts of it.
Well, she starts off as a little girl and in the video, and it's like she's going back to her like childhood type thing and how she gets into like Satanism, and it's just disgusting. So the Super Bowl, what is his name? It's not Usher. It's the other one. There it is. Right there. Go down. It's that one, the red. He's the one. That whole thing was satanic. The whole entire thing.
Yeah, I think it was 2021.
The Weekend. Yes, the Weekend. That's what it was.
Yeah, I think it was 2021.
And see how they all had jock straps on their face. He was promoting transgenders, first of all. And he was promoting the whole thing is satanic. And if you've seen his video from that song, like the video, I looked it up. It's about a girl and him breaking up, and he gets back with this girl, and he ends up getting her, enticing her back, and shoots her in the video. I'm like, nice what these youth are listening to and getting into their brains.
No better.
Yeah, The Weeknd, that's who it was.
Well, not only that, too, getting back to Katy Perry, I'm trying to find a good video of it, but it's not really coming.
Yeah, I know that Katy Perry, so Dark Horse that's the one of them. And the other one is when she's Cleopatra. Is that the one you're talking about?
That's the one I was talking about.
Yes, when she's Cleopatra, that one, she's doing all the Illuminati signs in that one.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, she's climbing the pyramid, too.
Yep.
Basically saying she's on top of the club. Yep. But what was it, last year or the year before, where she's on stage and her eye just started glitching out of nowhere. Yep. I was trying to find a good video of it, but that, and she passed out on stage.
Interesting.
That's what happens when you sign your soul to the devil.
Yeah, I want to find something else.
Will you work on that? You want to? Can we?
Yes.
We?
Yeah.
Is it that time
already?
Already
said yes. Yep. Sheep, right?
Yup.
Game over. Oh man. Come on. Alright. What can I do now? Tetris.
I just got to say a shout out to Jeff for actually dancing to that one. Let's go.
I'm excited that Jeff joined us the first time. That's the first time he joined us dancing.
Oh,
he's like, never again.
Crickets.
There's a cricket.
It's Lee Peterson. He takes too far, but I'm still a big fan.
What's different about the white man than you?
He stole everything he has. He got 240
What has he
years.
stolen from you?
A free labor from black people.
What has
black
he
people
stolen
built
from
this
black
country.
people today?
Oh, he stole our culture. He stole our language. He stole our heritage. He stole our labor.
Why is it that black men such as yourself don't feel embarrassed complaining about white men and how they're holding you back? And normal men don't have excuses.
I would love to hear your explanation of normal men.
Men who are not like women.
We should.
You can walk around in the African stuff and want to. Ain't nobody stopping you. You can go out there and speak that language. You can do all that. Matter of fact, you can pack your and go back there. But why do you hold allegiance to a country that sold your ancestors into slavery? It was messed up what they did. The black people. It was messed up what they did. They sold my ancestors into slavery. Yeah, the white man participated in it. But what do you expect? He's a capitalist.
I mean, the truth in that video.
I know. I love that guy. I've seen his. I watch his podcast all the time. The guy that was interviewing the guy. I saw that actual.
Yeah, I've seen him too. He's pretty good. Yeah.
What's his name? Because I have him on my YouTube. I follow him. I haven't seen one of his podcasts lately, but I do. He is cool. I like him.
I'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah. No, but I've seen him many, and I've seen the actual interview because he likes to interview a lot of black people, and they'll say, what's so, and he'll tell them the history.
He call him out. He
calls them out all the time. He tells them the history, and he's like calm about it. And the people that he interviews gets madder and madder and madder. And he's like,
yeah, that's even better because then that means they can't base it with facts because they know they're losing the argument.
Yep.
On to the next one. Let's go.
Or do you have some more?
I got more.
Okay.
If you laugh anytime during this video, you're a horrible person. None of this should be funny. Well, I was supposed to go this way. It's a nice place to put your hands, Joe. Yeah, that woman's probably thinking, why is his hands on my shoulders? Look at her. Did you see her clench up? It's like, what is she doing? Look at her rubbing her stomach. Look at her face. Man, this is crazy as hell. Yeah. What is this, man? Look at that girl. He tries to kiss her. Watch this. No, he's just smelling. He's pulling away. That's a nice dress. Man, shut up. She just left him. She's, I'm tired of this. Yeah, you shouldn't have laughed at that. If you did, you got a sick sense of humor like us. This dude's whole administration is a joke.
I'm with the Hodge. I'm with them. I have a sick sense of humor, I guess, because I laughed the whole video.
That shit is funny, though. The fact that they were calling it exactly like it was in the video.
Yeah.
When he was touching people, and they're like, why he touching me?
I just saw a video of Bill Clinton walking into some store over the weekend, and a little girl was like walking behind him, and he went into the store and turned around. The little girl couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 and just stared at her like she was a piece of meat. And
yeah, didn't he say something like how sexy she was and don't tell your mom?
Yeah, like these people just have like no filter, no shame. It's normal to them. And the thing that makes me angry is if I was there and witnessed that, I would probably go up to him and be in jail right now because I'd probably punch him in the face and say, what are you doing looking at that little girl? And saying something like that. And people just sit by and think it's cute. Like the people in that video that you showed, the mom is like taking her daughter back. And I would have been literally, I don't care if it's the president. I'm punching you in the face if you're touching my child like that. That's unacceptable. So parents are at fault.
I wanted to try to find because it said don't laugh. And I was trying to find like a laughing thing here for the chat. Did you see that they have Trump's mugshot now? I just put it in the chat.
We're not going to call them that. We're going to call them MAPS. No. Minor attracted persons. No. So don't judge people just because they want to have sex with a 5-year-old.
Don't judge people just because they want to have sex with a 5-year-old. They put up an article on this story. Franklin High School teacher's lesson stirs up debate. What is there to debate? There's a reason why these people, when they become a sex offender, their pictures are posted on websites. They got to check in. These kids that go through this kind of trauma, they grow up and they end up doing it to other little kids. Pedophiles are sick people. They don't need compassion. They need to be locked up. No, Keith, no. Don't call them that.
The day and age we're living in, Jeff. Say it.
Yeah.
Good versus evil.
But it's okay to have sex with a fighter. These people are just.
And just like Oprah, oh, it's normal if the abuser does it good to stroke your son's 7-year-old private part. What did you just say?
Mm-hmm.
I got one more. We're just still working on that. And Jeff.
Oh, okay. No, I have it. But Gabby Rios, people wear masks to convince themselves that they're victims. And I'm going to get into the mask thing real quick after John plays his other.
Okay, go for it, John.
It's 3 sheep, all the sheep. All the sheep.
All the sheep.
Boys! Did you hear the news?
What is it?
They don't want us driving our tractors for the time being.
What? That's ridiculous.
They want us to reduce our carbon emissions.
Then what are we supposed to do?
It says here to stay home until we say it's okay.
And how are we supposed to make a living?
It says they will send us a check in the mail.
And what are people supposed to eat? Bugs?
Granny, we're really not going to go along with all this malarkey, are we?
Are other farmers gonna do it?
I don't know, but we've always been rebels.
That's my type of granny. No, we've always been rebels.
His grandma says, "Fuck your mandates."
Yes, exactly. No, we always been rebels. That's
So
right.
do you remember this video from all these celebrities pushing the vaccine, saying, "Oh, wear your mask, getting all pissed off and saying, "Screw your freedoms" and all this other bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You remember this video from the Super Bowl a couple years ago?
We're in Hollywood. Who do we got here? We got Jay-Z, Matt Damon. Charlize Theron is here. LeBron. Jennifer and Ben. Emmett Smith.
There you go. There's my kind of celebrity.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Of course, there's an all-time celebrity row here tonight for Super Bowl 56. Andy Garcia, Chris Tucker, taking it all in. Get those pictures. Basketball royalty in the house. LeBron James. And, of course, Irvin, Magic, Johnson. Actresses, well, Charlize Theron is in the house. Mark Wahlberg making a call, making sure his peeps are here. Sean Penn looking cool as ever. And Matt Damon finding his spot as well.
Shocker, they ain't wearing no mask.
Shocker.
Oh, yeah.
Andy
Like I said,
Garcia.
Charlize Theron was big for all that, oh my God. And then remember not too long ago, she was like, "Oh, if you're against trans people, I'll fuck you up," or some shit like that. But here's what I always found interesting. 1 second. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves or something.
That's wild because you know what? Andy Garcia used to be my favorite actor. I was in love with him in my 20s and 30s, and he hasn't been around to do any movie lately, like the last 15, 20 years. That's weird.
See, here's what I always found interesting. Number one was Chris Tucker was on what? Chris Tucker was on what? Epstein Island. Now, here's the thing about football or any kind of game stadium. This always stuck out to me the minute I saw this video. I want to share it again, but I'm going to share the part where it's Chris Tucker. Now, if you don't think that this was all planned, again, watch this. Now, he's filming. The camera is all the way across the field. Now, you don't know where the camera is because it gets lost in everything. So he's filming. Oh, look, he looks right at the camera. Did you see that? How he looked like right at the friggin' camera.
Yeah.
That's all the way across the field. How did he know where that camera was? You don't see it. That was all, to me, it was all planned just to show their hypocrisy, just like the Golden Globes 2020. Notice how when certain jokes hit, certain celebrities were like when he said some of these Epstein jokes, when he said the Epstein joke, and when he said certain jokes, who did they mostly focus on? Tom Hanks.
Yeah. But You said that was Chris Rock or Chris Tucker?
Chris Tucker.
That didn't look like him though, did it?
Yeah, that was him.
That was him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just amazing how, like I said, it's like when you're at a stadium, that camera is all the way across the field from you. You don't know. He looked right at the camera. It's like he knew, and he's supposedly filming, and he looks right at the camera. It's like, come on, tell me that wasn't all planned.
Yeah.
As if to say, hey, look at all these fucking. Again, Charlize Theron was big for pushing all that mask shit and screw your freedoms like Arnold. C-Tex is in the house. Hey, C-Tex. You want the government to take care of you. Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's like that. The frog's in the pot. I have one meme. It's a couple frogs in the pot, and it says, some of you are going to trust your government until your pronouns were, or was and were. It's like, yeah.
Fuck your pronouns.
When you're a victim, you want to be taken care of sort of like a zoo animal.
Yeah, and again, it's like the one that I post it today, or was it yesterday, where it's like, before you mock somebody who believes in paying more taxes, fix climate change, walk a mile in their shoes, and it's somebody putting on clown shoes. And it's like, so true. It's like people literally believe, if I give the government money, they can fix the environment. It's like, cue that one commercial with the old lady. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Yep. Exactly.
And again, it's like Bill Gates pushed the vaccine, obviously.
And depopulation.
His kid's not vaccinated. It says that he won't get his kids vaccinated, which all his kids are adopted, by the way.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. Well, Melinda came out and said that during the divorce. She said that because she was under a gag order during the divorce, and she said that she couldn't say anything, but that when they asked her if her kids were vaccinated, she said no. So your husband, who designed this vaccine, you're not going to have your husband vaccinate your own kids if it's so needing to be. That right there should have showed everybody in this world not to take that vaccine.
Just trying to find something. It's like, hold on, let's see. It's like, look at Melinda Gates then, and look at her now.
Yeah, that's not her.
No. Look at her. Look at her there.
That's not her at all.
Now, real quick, supposedly, the one that's playing Melinda Gates.
Because remember, she went off the scene for a couple of years after that divorce, and that her saying that, and then was never heard from. And then all of a sudden, we seen her at a tennis match. Remember, that was the first time she showed. It was at a tennis match.
Yeah. Look at Kevin Kline. And then look at Linda Gates.
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of looks similar, doesn't it?
It does. How do you find this stuff?
Research. But yeah, it's like you see pictures of Melinda Gates a long time ago, totally feminine. And then
she was beautiful. That's what I'm saying. She was a beautiful lady. I'm like, that is not Melinda Gates at all.
I'll do it one more time. There's Kevin Kline. You all know what he looks like.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I call her Man Linda Gates.
Yeah.
Because from what I've heard, the real Bill Gates, Rockefeller, by the way, the real Bill Gates was born a woman. And it's like, you see some of Bill Gates's earlier pictures, you can kind of see it. Not only that, it's, people, I think that, again, now this is just my opinion. It's not that they were forcing the transgender stuff on us. They're exposing it. This is how the Great Awakening works. It has to go in stages. And it's just showing, because a lot of these secret societies, what's not allowed in a lot of these secret societies? Biological women. A lot of these women were born men, so it's like they're allowed in it. I don't know, but like I said, like I said, I think a lot of the transgender thing being brought to light again was to just expose. Again, that's just me, so don't hold me to Oh well, he said no. I'm saying that's my opinion. Because again, remember the Great Awakening has to go in stages. You can't just hit somebody. Again, we've been indoctrinated in our schools too, just not as bad. It was a slow process, but it's like try to. Some of these people on the left, old hardcore Democrat, been voting Democrat all their life, been indoctrinated all their life, especially seeming that they still watch CNN, believe MSNBC. It's like the one. I think I shared it. Yeah, I shared the meme out not too
Esther
long
said
ago.
looks more like Robin Williams.
What's that?
Esther said looked more like Robin Williams. Melinda Gates, I think.
There you go. There you go, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I saw that earlier.
You don't trust the science.
Speaking of trust the science, so I found this meme today and I was going to post it out on Twitter, and I think this meme is beautiful. And it just says, science says you cannot have more votes than voters. Trust the science. Yeah. So like I said, if you want to win a logical argument, use their logic back with
That's
them.
why I made that. I think I still have the meme somewhere. It's one of the first ones I ever made. Hold on one second.
Hey, shield your eyes, shield your children's eyes, but yeah. Look at that face in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Michael holding his hands like, oh.
Yeah, because there's one meme that says, "Oh, and that's why I married him." But this is one of the first memes I've ever made, and it's like hit the left with this. Oops.
Yep.
Yeah, do the math. 133 million registered voters, and not all of them vote. 81 million votes, and Trump got 74 million, and change. But it's like, yeah, do the math. Yeah, that math does not add up.
Yep.
They still don't see it. They'll still. It's amazing that even though this is a fake Biden, it's still amazing. I seen one. It was a YouTube short just last night. I should have saved it. But this kid, he's awake. Is interviewing this old guy on like Venice Beach or something like that, and the guy literally said, "Oh well, Biden's implemented a lot of good laws," and he's like, "Name one." Oh well, he did that. It's just like, and then he mentions Trump, and Trump's a racist. Well, what did Trump say that's racist? Well, I heard.
Yeah,
and you heard.
He didn't say. If you vote for me, you're not black.
Yeah.
Oh, you're black. That was Biden.
Yep, that was Biden. Well, I like there's one guy that goes around to college campuses and he always says what
louder with
Biden says, but he'll say Trump says it, and they're like, yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're
I
like,
don't know.
yeah,
I don't know his
says,
name, but I know
Biden said that right, and it wasn't Trump, and then they're like,
Yeah, he's a younger guy, Spanish guy. I know exactly who you're talking about. I've seen him before. But getting back to celebrities. I don't know if y'all have seen this one, but we're going to, as Salty Cracker would say, get ready for eye AIDS.
Eye AIDS? That's a new one.
Yeah.
Never heard of that one.
What the fuck is
this?
This
Is supposedly Kathy.
Hey guys, okay, pardon my ignorance, but I just came back from my daily walk to the beach, and I was watching the surfers, which I find fascinating. It's I didn't see one chick, by the way. It was every single one was dudes, and there were like 30. Anyway, this is a really dumb question, but it's a really cloudy day. In fact, it was raining a little bit here in Malibu, and the water looks like there's like laundry soap in it, like it's sudsy kind of, and it's not clear blue because of the sky. But does the sun make the algae go away? Is that why it looks like there's more algae on cloudy days? I didn't go to college. Can you tell? Hi, you guys. Okay, pardon my ignorance.
I wish you could with these
But
shorts. I
I
wish
just
they
came
could,
back from my daily walk to the beach, and I was watching the
make them bigger. But number one, look at her ears. Ears look kind of funky and small.
Is
'Cause
this
is after her.
thing even human?
Like I said,
I just my eyes are melting. What the heck am I looking at?
It even says, "Is this real?" Kathy Griffin has a new look at her ears.
Yes.
Look at her ears. Look how weird they look. Number one.
They look fake as shit.
Thank you, DM guy. What WTF is that? I agree. I'm like, what the?
So here's a picture of Kathy Griffin. This is obviously without her adrenochrome. But hold on one second.
That was scary, man. She scared me.
Yeah.
If I saw
But did
her
you
like
see
in the
the
dark
ears?
alley, I think, oh my Lord, she's scary.
Well, this is the real her without her adrenochrome. But look at her ears. Her
I
ears
think
are
it's
way
great.
bigger. Her ears are way
Celebrity.
bigger here than in that video. Now I'm going to bring up another picture of her.
I digress.
That's some justice right there from God. You did this to my children, and you're gonna look 50 years older than what you should look.
Yeah.
Amen, God. Thank you.
Now look at her ears in this one. Now her ears are smaller again.
I mean, what is that? That doesn't even look human to me. It looks like an AI.
Well, that's Kathy Griffin. I mean, granted that the tops of the ears are the same, but it's like her ears are different in three different. One in the video, her ears were a lot smaller and weirder. The other one I just showed, her ears were a lot bigger, and now this one, her ears are different again. It's like Trump has called out Biden's ears before. How do you go from your earlobes are detached? Now all of a sudden they were attached. Now only one is attached, and the other one. That's like, if you're not watching a movie, I don't know what we are. But yeah, that Kathy Griffin is disgusting. Ugh,
Yeah.
I never liked her anyway.
Yeah.
So like that, I warned you. You're gonna get eye AIDS, as Salty Cracker would say.
You did warn us, but I have to tell you, my eyes did melt a little bit from seeing that. But you did warn us.
So somebody else that was on Epstein Island. I'm looking at
Hope dealers talk about, its ears are different and higher in one picture and two are lower.
Yeah. Still, the around the tops is weird, and the same, but it's like the video, they're small. The second picture, like I said, they're really big, and then the second picture I showed, which was Kathy Griffin, probably from before all this, just with no makeup on. But I don't know if y'all seen this. Hold on one second. I just got to wait for the ad to go.
I just want to tell everybody, welcome to the Great Awakening. This is the greatest time on earth to be alive.
And if you don't think that you were born for this moment, I'll tell you otherwise. You were all born for this moment.
Thank you, Jeff. Amen.
God places everyone he needs at a certain time.
Absolutely.
So, Cami, I don't know if you ever seen this video of Jim Carrey. Now, this is obviously all after either 2020. Yeah, I think it was in 2020 that this came out. I'm just waiting on you, John.
My bad.
Okay. No, all good. So, Cami, I don't know if you've ever seen this.
On the number 2 opens tomorrow. Please say hello to Jim Carrey.
No.
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things, and, you know, and you know, look at him trying to come it out. It's hilarious. And, you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second. You know what they're trying to do? Who? This thing is buzzing. Hold on. They're trying to turn us into, you know, consumer drones of some sort. Hold on, I just got to get this.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some...
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus.
That's a big one, huh?
5.5 heads-up HD display. I think what I was really trying to say was I think people will enjoy Dumb and Dumber this weekend.
And that is what I thought you were about to say.
Then that MK Ultra'd his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was in 2020, I think. Again, like you said, welcome to the Great Awakening. This is how it works.
Welcome to the Great Awakening.
Now, I have one more video.
John, that should have been in your sheep video because the audience was thinking that he was joking when he was being for real. And he was basically saying the joke's on your dumbasses and its audience because they were laughing at him thinking that he was saying that was a joke, and he was not joking. Nah. He was telling
then but then he goes into the iPhone thing. Hidden message there.
Yeah.
And then oh, go see Dumb. It's like subliminal, but he's telling you, and it's like, is he being forced to do it? I think so. But here's another one that you all know. We've all seen this before, I'm sure. Hold on one second, just bear with me. I know everybody's seen this.
There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table to figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers, people who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Man. You know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Amen.
Yeah, you got to be asleep to believe it. Wow.
Now he was always against the government, and he always bashed the government in a lot of his specials. Did you notice something about his stage setup? He was in a cemetery. That was his last stand-up ever.
Looking back, seeing that, yeah. Wow.
That was his last stand-up special. And like I said, look at his stage setup was a cemetery. It's almost like he knew.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Yeah.
And what's not in there? Two really good ideas for shirts that they won't allow because it has Trump on it. Huh.
Yep.
Go figure.
Yeah, go figure. But speaking of sheep, Meet the Sheep Alive is still live. Now 100% blind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now 100% blind.
Carrie, I believe Carlin died of natural causes. I mean, he was, his late 70s, 80s.
Yeah, he died several years ago because he was in his late 70s.
2000 is either 2008 or 2009. And the sad part is me and my girlfriend at the time were watching that. And I said, I got a feeling that Carlin's going to be the next to go. And he was the next to go.
Yeah,
she was like, oh my God. She was like, you called that. And I was like, I don't want to hear shit because as morbid as this sounds, I shouldn't even say it this way, but where she lived near the train tracks. And a month apart, 2 kids committed suicide right where her bedroom window was. And she said she looked out when it happened. She said she saw like the first responders just picking up body parts. So she had no luck with that stuff. Plus, her ex-boyfriend, she called me one day and she goes, "Oh, my ex, she talked about him a lot, and I didn't care that she talked because she treated her well, and that's all I cared about." She was like, "Oh, yeah, you remember my?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "He died last night in a car crash." I'm just like, "You got to be kidding." I felt bad for her because again, 2 kids, suicide by train right outside her window, and then her and it was just like, oh my God.
Well, we want to thank you all again for joining Jeff and I on Unhinged with Cami and Jeff. It's been a great show, and we appreciate everyone that has joined us and that continues to join us and support us when we can't do this without you. And we love you all. Hope you have a good night. And tomorrow, don't forget to join Jeff and Steven.
Uncuffed.
Or Uncuffed.
I call it Uncuffed because it's just, I'm just combining the two. They all run into one another.
All right, ready?
Oh, yeah, that's great. We had a video to end with. Thank you, John.
Yes,
and
we did.
love all you guys.
Yep. See you on Sunday.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yep.
Like I said, when I first heard that song, I thought he said Sinatra of Pain, but
don't tread on me.
Don't tread on me. Oh, Steven, we got kicked off of Cami Tube the very first within 10 seconds of the show, so it don't even matter.
Within 5 seconds of the show.
It's still running, but I'm sure it's getting copyrighted.
Talking about Depeche Mode.
Because when he said that, I was like, "Hey, at least we went we made YouTube play all episode." And I was like, "Oh no, wait, we started with Kid Rock." I'm like, we got hit a long time ago."
It's still
we got hit a long time ago.
It's still running. It's just I know we get the copyright because of the Kid Rock song. Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're not monetized yet anyway, so it's like I said, we pretty much used them all episodes. So by YouTube, you suck anyway.
That's right.
It needed to be said.
Ditto for me too. You suck, YouTube.
Yeah. Cami said it, not me.
Yeah, thanks. Blame it on me. John said it, not me.
They hate me anyway because they kicked me off a long time ago. Again,
You should see me put.
anything. I was just pro-Trump, anti-Biden, and they booted me for no reason. But that's okay. I don't care.
As soon as he said that, I put "Don't tread on me" in the chat.
Yeah, Sinatra pain. So on that note, I love all you guys.
Yep, love you guys. Good night. Thank you. And Jeff and Steven will see you tomorrow, and we'll all see you on Sunday and next week, Tuesday, for Unhinged. Have a good night, and God bless you all.
God bless you all. God bless our troops.
Yes, God bless our troops.
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can see.
Real quick, I know Mama Bear kept on asking about Bug Bug. Bug Bug is busy with the house. Just so y'all know.
I miss Bug in the chat. Tell her we said hello.
Yes.
We're waiting for her to be in the chat. Love y'all.
Mr. Bug Bug, yeah. Hold on one second. Mr. Bug Bug texted me because he always texts me during the show sometimes to give some. Burning Man originated out of San Francisco. Enough said. Well, there you go.
Enough said. San Francisco's all I had to hear.
So at least we know they're watching, just they're not in the chat. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Steven said, we are an education platform.
That's right.
Yes. Yes, and we're going to be put into a camp to re-educate us. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, yeah, hold on. Mama Bear texted me, too. Hold on one second. It's like a super chat, but we'll call it a super text.
Yeah, it takes us like 20 minutes to say goodbye. We're like 20 minutes ago. We're like, all right, goodbye, everybody. 20 minutes later, we're still saying goodbye. And we still have 30 people hanging on.
Thank you, not a guitar player, for saying we had a good show. I mean,
okay. Mama Bear just giving a heads up about somebody in the. Yeah, okay. I got my eye. Don't worry, Mama Bear. You saw me how I handled it last week with that person.
See, I don't even notice those people.
Okay,
good night, y'all. God bless.
It's Ray Epps' wife. We'll say it that way.
Ooh. With that being said, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah. You got to go into the gap.